The unit number 7 we have covered through this week that I'm conveying you. The price system and the microeconomy. There we have covered the chapters utility, indifference curve and budget line, efficiency and market failure, externalities and the social cost benefits. Up to that only this the remaining chapters, that is cost, revenue, profit, market structure, growth and survival of firm, objective and policy for firm, that I'm going to convey next video. Come to that. First topic, that is utility. Utility, what is utility? Utility is nothing but it is a satisfaction power of a commodity. Now it is a satisfaction power or the benefit derived from consuming our goods or services. Example I'm giving you, say you have purchased two goods. One is that iPhone, another one is Realme phone, right? So there is a two different company. If you are asking me as per the goodwill, that iPhone gives you more satisfaction than Realme, so that you can tell me their utility of iPhone is far more or better than Realme, where we can show the utility in two way. One is that ordinal measurement, where that you are showing the quality of a good. Another one is a cardinal measurement, where that the quality you are converting into the form of numbers, that is units. Say example that if I'm asking you, if you visited a restaurant and you came out and I'm asking you that how is the food, you told as a good, you told awesome, it was very good. So like that, the word when you're using that is nothing but the quality. But economics point of view, when we are making some calculations, we need numbers. So when we are converting this quality into the numbers, that is known as the utils. That means utility shown in the form of numbers, that is known as utils. Now, if I'm talking about that iPhone utils, you told sir when I purchased that the util is, say example, 2000, and there is a Realme util is say 1000. So you could find out that iPhone is better utility than Realme. So definitely you are going to purchase iPhone if you have a purchasing power, right? So example, drinking water when the thirsty provides a high utility, second bottle may provide the less satisfaction. So another psychology says that when continuously you are consuming the same product, your utility goes down, your satisfaction goes down. That is known as law of diminishing marginal utility. That topic again we have later also, we are going to see that also even. Next, we are going to see the types of utility: total utility, marginal utility. What is total utility? I told you that same product you are purchasing again and again, your utility should go down. Now, if you check here, as per this, total and marginal utility both we are going to see here. There is units one purchase you purchase, that is marginal utility gives you 20, and second utility when you purchase, that your utility go down by 5. Here 10, 5, 0. So you could find out the totality also, that when purchasing one commodity, your total utility will become 20. Again 20 plus 15, it is 35. Again 35 plus 10, 45. 45 plus 5, 50, and so on. So the total utility is the sum total of marginal utility, is known as the total utility, or that one more or one less when the total utility when you purchasing changes, that is known as the marginal utility. One more time I'm telling this, marginal utility is that the changes of total utility due to one more or one less consumption, that is known as the marginal utility. Say example, first unit when you purchase that, the total utility become 1, and the second unit total utility is 35. Now 35 minus 20, it is nothing but 15. So marginal utility is 15. First one is that 20 minus nothing means 0, 20. So in this point I can convey total utility equal to sigma mu, that is addition of marginal utility, and marginal utility equal to tu example second commodity, tu second commodity minus tu first commodity. So can I make a formula like that? If number, if I'm putting in the form of n, TUN, so n is 2 minus TUN minus 1. So always 1 previous. So that 2 minus 1, it is 2. If I'm taking the 2, I can go with the 3 also. Now TU3 commodity minus TU3 minus 1 commodity, that means 2 commodity. So two formula we have, the total utility equal to sigma mu, marginal utility equal to TUN minus TUN minus 1. So marginal utility, it is another way also I can find out, that is change in total utility divided by change in quantity. You can find out that also. How? The change in total utility here is change in total utility, how much? 15. And the marginal utility here indirectly they're talking about the change in quantity. Now could you find out that quantity, how much change here? 1. So that 15 divided by 1, that also you can do that, right? So if you're telling no sir, I will jump to commodity, you can go with. So that 20 to 45, how much changes is there? Take it, and here is changes in 3 commodity, it is 2. You can divide it in that and you can find out the marginal utility in that even. Okay. Now I'm going to the next topic, that is law of diminishing marginal utility. That point already I explained you one more time. That is that when continuously any product you are purchasing, your utility goes down, diminishing. That is known as the law of diminishing marginal utility. It is a psychology that of a consumer, always same product you continuously purchase, then your utility definitely will go down. But it will have an assumption. Think about that, if that any goods you purchase today and the same goods you purchase after 1 year, you cannot say that your utilities go down. No, that's why the word is assumption is that, that is categories paribus, that it says about, assumption says about that you are purchasing continuously. Okay, you cannot change your consumption, and after and the goods also you cannot change, the quality, efficiency also you cannot change. So these are the assumption are there. Now some of that implications we have, that downward sloping demand curve influence consumer choices, basis of modern demand theory. We are going to see that the definition of utility or law of diminishing marginal utility. What says that law of diminishing marginal utility? One more time. When you are consuming same product continuously, the utility for every successive unit is goes down. That is known as the law of diminishing marginal utility. Now come to that utility maximization. Utility maximization is nothing but what? Consumer seeks maximum satisfaction given their income. Say example, you have income of rupees 100. Now out of 100, you are purchasing 2 commodities. Say example, that commodity A, commodity B. Obviously, you will go to that commodity which gives you more satisfaction for expending your money. Example, 80 rupees you are expending for goods A, because of what? That satisfaction for A is more than the B. So marginal utility derived from A is more than B. So that's why your expenses also you are spending more in goods A than B. So consumer equilibrium occurs. What is the consumer equilibrium? Where that if two commodity you are purchasing, say example goods A and goods B, when that both utility gives you same, that is known as your consumer equilibrium situation. Say here shows about that marginal utility of X commodity divided by price of X equal to marginal utility of Y commodity divided by price of Y. So this marginal utility you could find out exactly similar with both. Now you are telling sir how it will be possible? Yes, it is possible. How? Say goods A and goods B, we have seen that if goods A you are purchasing continuously, because of that goods A's satisfaction is more than the goods B. So after that, the law of diminishing marginal says that what? That when you are purchasing goods A continuously, this satisfaction will go down, and one time will come again, it will equal with the B. So automatically your situation definitely will come where that marginal utility of X divided by Px equal to marginal utility of Y divided by Py. Now come to that next topic, that is indifference curve and the budget line. Now what is indifference curve? Indifference curve is nothing but the combination of the two goods consumption. Again, this word I'm using, that two goods consumption. If you remember one more thing we have seen in ACE level, that is PPC, production possibility curve, where the two goods, combination of two goods production. Here is just opposite, combination of two goods consumption. So this point, this is about the producer point of view, but this one is the consumer point of view. Okay, so these are the difference here. That's why IC curve and indifference curve shows the combination of the two goods giving the same level of satisfaction. Again, the word, if you could find out the satisfaction, so this is about the consumer, not the producer. Okay. Now, if you're talking about the same level of satisfaction, how it is there? The combination of the two satisfaction is the same level. Say example that the total utility become 100. Okay. So goods A I am purchasing, goods B I am purchasing. Goods A utility I got 80, goods B utility is 20. So it become 100. Any condition, because of the goods A utility more, I consumed more goods A. Like that. Right. So in that situation, the total utility become 100. If I am making that IC curve, it is convex to the origin. Typically, it can be changed also. It can be a straight line. It can be concave also. It is based on MRS, marginal rate of substitution or marginal opportunity cost. We have the topic again later. We will see that. Now in this, what they are talking about, the two goods you are purchasing giving you same level of satisfaction. So if I am talking about, this is that IC curve, if you pointing here, if you pointing here, if you pointing here, any place you are pointing, there is a one satisfaction you could find out here more. So this satisfaction can be more, where that this satisfaction can be less. Say example, this one is 80 util, this one is 20 util. So become total how much? 100. So same level of satisfaction every place. So where that this I am matching this all and having a curve, this is known as the IC curve, indifference curve. One more point I want to say you, that indifference map. In same diagram, if I am showing, if I am showing more than one IC, so this one is that IC1, this one is that IC2, this one is that IC3. See that more than one IC I have shown is combined in the IC map. Why I'm showing the IC map here? It is based on your more satisfaction. Say example, IC1, IC2, IC3, IC3 having a maximum satisfaction than IC2, IC1 and etc. And in this also, that if you are talking about that income, low level income, the people can reach only IC1, highest level of income the people can reach IC3, because of that income more, purchasing power more, satisfaction more, right? So these are the situation here. Now some of the assumption if I'm going to see here, that people should be rational consumer. What is the rational consumer? Rational consumer is says that in a situation where that the consumer consuming the goods for the getting satisfaction only, there is no other intention in this. Say example that I am sitting a restaurant and I'm every day I'm coming with my clients, some of the meetings I'm doing, and every day one say some of the, say one burger and one of the coffee cappuccino I have purchased that. Now could you find out this, that every day same thing I am ordering, I am eating them, I'm consuming them, but my satisfaction is not goes down for this product. Why? My work is that something else, not getting the satisfaction by consuming of that goods. So it is not a rational consumer. So rational consumer, definitely they are trying to get a satisfaction. Next is that non-satiation, consistency, transitivity. Okay, so these are that some of the assumption has given there. Just you take a look. It's a lots of time will take on that. Okay, now come to that properties of indifference curve. Now properties of indifference curve. The indifference curve is slopes downward. slopes downwards, always it is known as the negative relation. Negative means that what? If one increases, another should go decreases. Here I can go here, the consumption of it, one increases, another consumption will be decreases. Okay. Say example one, this one is decreases, this one is increases. Okay, like that. Next, are convex to the origin. You can write this word typically convex to the origin. As I mentioned you that can be changed. That means a straight line also can be there, or can say that concave also can be there. It is depend upon that MOC or known as MRS, marginal rate of substitution. Next, it's never intersect. Why it is never intersect? There, if two IC curve I made that never intersect each other, or never intersect either axis also. Okay, both the things is there. It is means that if intersect one other, definitely it become what? It become at that situation. Here in this situation, both the satisfaction is equal. But two IC curve shows the two different level of satisfaction that we know very well. Right. So in that situation, we cannot say this is can be correct. And one more point is there that where that I told that is never intersect or touch the either axis even. Because of that, and we told about that here, the two goods consumption. If that axis touch, it become one goods, because one goods become zero. It's not at all possible. Next, higher IC curve shows the higher level of satisfaction. That will show that the in IC map, right? So this one is that higher level satisfaction than other. Next, marginal rate of substitution that I am talking about. Before also I told about this. So marginal rate of substitution or marginal opportunity cost, it is a ratio between, it is a ratio between that one good sacrificed with the another goods consumed, right? So what is the meaning of this? MRS is the amount of one goods consumer willing to give up, sacrifice for another while maintaining the same utility. So that means we have seen that the goods A and goods B, one goods consumption I am increasing, because of that this satisfaction is more, utility is more. Due to that another goods consumption I am reducing, right? This ratio if I am showing with that is one of the MRS. But MRS, you think about that delta X divided by delta Y. Delta X, this X is sacrificed one, and this is that consumed one, more consumed one, because of that gives you more satisfaction. Okay, this is the form where that MRS equal to delta X divided by delta Y. And remember that utility sacrifice that will show numerator. Okay, now one more thing, there is a diminishing MRS. That means when you are writing the sacrifice divided by gained one, right? So that answer you are going to get. Say example that sacrificed, I have sacrificed 8 and that I have gained 2. So that ultimately 4. So MRS is 4. Again, next condition, there is sacrificed is 6 and the gain is 2. You could find out now 3. Now could you find out the MRS is decreasing? So diminishing MRS, it is nothing but shows that it is convex to the origin. Convex to the origin. Now the point coming at the sir, it is a convex to the origin. What if that MRS is same? That means first sacrificed is 4, gained is 2. Again second one also 4 divided by 2, or 8 divided by 4. You could find out both the place of 2. So that in the condition is MRS is same. MRS is same that time that IC can be straight line. Okay. So there is the changes. So opposite will be that if MRS is increasing, that time it is the concave to the origin. Right. So these are the point. Now come to that budget line. What is budget line? Budget line is otherwise known as the price line. Budget line is nothing but what? Using of your income, how much effort for any commodity, or here is a two goods combination again we are showing, then you can afford, right? That is known as the budget line. And which are the goods you are affording, or which are the goods you are wanted to buy, that is known as the bundle. I'm showing you say example. So this is the goods Y and this is the goods X. Now think about the goods Y. It is I am purchasing 4, where that goods X I am purchasing 6. So total goods. Here again, if I am increasing to here, say example 8 and this one is 2. So total is, you could find out here 10. So this is exactly the straight line budget line. It's like a demand curve. It is straight line where it is known as the budget line, where that consumer afford it, right? The two goods afford. Now, this is known as the price line also. Okay, this is known as the price line also. Why? Think about that. If the market price increases, definitely your budget ultimately go down. Why? Your disposable income, or can say that your consuming power, purchasing power will decrease because of what? Price increases, right? So it is indirectly known as the price line also, right? This budget line can be shift rightward or leftward. If your income increases, budget line can be shift rightward because you can afford more. If your income decreases, obviously opposite side leftward. Another way, if I'm talking about the market price also, market price decreases, your budget line can be shift rightward, right? You can afford more. So here they told about the two goods consumption. So with your income in economics, income I'm showing in the form of Y. So income equal to Px of X. So price of X commodity and purchasing of X quantity. Again, price of Y commodity and purchasing of Y quantity. So this is a combination. Say example, I am spending, this one is 6, this one is 4. Indirectly your income finish on that. Okay, two goods. Now if this is the budget line and a consumer not having that much of income to afford this budget line, that is the point can be here K. This is a underutilization of your income, or here this one is that unattainable budget line. Okay. Okay, next, consumer equilibrium is a situations where that IC will be the highest, or can say that your satisfaction will be the highest, and their budget line and IC will be the tangent. Okay, this word you remember, say example 1, 2, 3. 3 budget line we have seen, 3 IC curve we have seen here, and budget line I am making here, this one budget line. Now, can you see in that situation, this point A, this point B, and this point C? Now, as per you, which one your consumer equilibrium you could find out? I'm conveying this. Now, think about this is intersect and this point only tangent, right? Now, indirectly what that I know that where you are afford, this is your affordable line, that is budget line, and it is intersect IC2 also, that is tangent IC2 also. So and IC2 is the more satisfaction than IC1, definitely the people will go with that point A. So this point A is the consumer equilibrium situation. Okay, now one more, allocative efficiency. Okay, efficiency, allocative efficiency. Now what is nothing but here is that there is nothing but the price equal to marginal cost. Remember that price equal to marginal cost. What is the price you incurred? Say example that 50 rupees I have invested for purchasing of goods, and your utility, marginal utility also become 50 utils, so that the purchasing power, or can say that utils, is equal to your price. That time it is known as the allocative efficiency. Now come to the productive efficiency. Productive efficiency is nothing but what? Where the production take place at the lowest average cost. Why it is coming the lowest average cost? Keep in mind that the lowest average cost indirectly that your cost per units, cost per unit for the production is least. So cost per unit for your production is least. Obviously, your margin, profit margin can be increased there, right? Your maximum profit you can gain. It is as per point of view whom? Producer. Now, MC equal to AC. Marginal cost equal to average cost, that point. Next is that dynamic efficiency, where that involves innovation, research and development, technological progress. Remember this three word: innovation, research and development, technological progress. Where the dynamic efficiency, it is nothing but due to the changes of or upliftment, upgrade of these are the things that efficiency arises in the economy. Say example that before it was some button phones and its innovations to smartphones. Now it's EV started, before it was petroleum, right? Artificial intelligence also it is came up, right? So this is nothing but the dynamic efficiency. Now market failure. What is market failure? Market failures occurs when the free market fails to allocate resource efficiently. Now the word I'm coming in, that what is efficient and effective. Effective is nothing but what? By using of your allocated resources on time, you have finished your production, you have completed your work. That is known as the effective. But efficiency is that what? By using of your allocated resources with less cost or less time. Okay, less time or less cost, that you have completed your production. So something where that you have benefited, that is known as the efficiency. Now, free market failed to allocate resources efficiently. Okay, that is known as the market failure. Now, what are the causes are there in this? That things we are going to see. And that is the next topic. That is topic number 33, chapter number 33 indirectly, you can say that. Next is that externalities. What is externalities? Externalities is nothing but what? Where the third party involved, it may be positive way or negative way, due to that the production has been done, or can say that any services provided. Again, one more time. Externalities are third party effect arising from the production or consumption. Say example, I am a producer, I am producing goods in a factory. Now this factory, I placed a area in Bangalore, and the besides of the place, the people are having asthma problem or any other the breathing problem due to the smoke emitted from a factory. So you could find out in that situations is what happening, that they are really not going to get any benefited for my factory, but even though they are negatively affected, right? So this is nothing but the externalities, negative externalities. So that positive externalities is that what? Say example, I am producing a smartphone in a lowest cost. Now those people is purchasing a smartphone or using a smartphone, for them it is a benefit, right? So that is positive externalities. So positive externalities, negative externalities. Positive externalities where that getting a benefited for any third party work, but where is that having a trouble or facing problem for third party any work, that is known as the negative externalities. Now negative externalities, you could find out that traffic congestion, air pollution, noise pollution, etc. Right? In these key concepts, you remember that there is negative externalities where that okay, social cost exceeds where the private cost or production cost, you can say that. Okay. Okay. Next, coming the positive externalities, that things already I mentioned you, but one more time, here is, yes, education, vaccination, training workers, right? Now, say example that I have joined in a place or the company trained me for any purpose. So it is benefited to me. If I leave that company and if I join some other place, definitely I trained on that, right? So this is benefited to me. Now, in that condition, again, positive externalities, you could find out here that the social benefits exceeds than the private benefits. Okay. Before one, what we have seen the negative externalities, you could see that there is, so marginal social cost is more than the marginal private cost. Correct one? Yeah. And here it shows about the benefits, right? Now come to that cost and benefits. There is a four things we are going to see that, right? One by one we are going to see here. There is, if you are watching this point, has a marginal social cost equal to marginal private cost plus external cost. Both combinedly it is coming here, right? Now, could you find out here the private cost and external cost has given sum with that, that is cost, and the benefit exactly same again, social benefit equal to benefits plus external benefits. Okay. Now, government intervention, policies to correct market failure, lots of government taking intervention on that market failure. In condition, if market failure, if you remember that the allocation of your resource failure indirectly, without efficiency you allocated your resources, right? That is known as the market failure. So here is government intervention in this, say indirect taxes, subsidies, regulations, that is tradable permits, public provisions, informations campaign. So government where can control many way where the society is affected, tools, so that your social benefits or social cost can be minimized or maximized, right? Now come to that cost, revenue and profit. First, I am going to tell you the two types of cost, fixed cost and variable cost. Now, what is fixed cost? Fixed cost is nothing but what? Those costs which are not changing with changing your output. Say example, there my room rent. I have taken a factory on rent and the rent is 2 lakh rupees per month. Now, either I am producing or not producing. Producing, say example, 100 units or 0 units producing. Every time I am going to pay the 2 lakh. That means of what? This rate is not changing even I am producing lots of goods or I am not producing any. So this is one of the fixed costs. So fixed cost example, rent, insurance, these are the fixed costs. Variable cost is that what? Those costs can be increased with the output increase, can be decreased where the output decrease. That means of what? The cost I have incurred more due to the more production. If definition they're asking that it will be vary with your output. It will be change as per your output. It is having a positive relation with your output. Output increases, your production also output increases, your cost also increases. Your output decreases, your cost also decreases. Example, labor cost, wages and all the things, and raw material purchase, right? So here is the total cost I have incurred by using of this. It is nothing but that total fixed cost and total variable cost. So indirectly total cost equal to total fixed cost. Say 2 lakh rupees I am giving as a rent plus variable cost 20,000. So 2 lakh 20,000 is my total cost for a month. Okay. Next, if you are having all three now, total cost, total fixed cost I'm writing here, total variable cost I'm writing here. Okay. Here they have written fixed and variable, you can write total also. Now, when I'm converting into average now, simple, it is divided form. Now I can convert into the total cost into average cost, total fixed cost into that average fixed cost, and the total variable cost average variable cost. Now the formula is that what? Average always divided by quantity, right? Output. So that average cost equal to, I can write total cost divided by quantity, or output. Average cost equal to again total fixed cost. Now average fixed cost equal to total fixed cost divided by quantity, and average variable cost equal to total variable cost divided by quantity. Correct. Now three situations we have that converted into that total cost to average cost, total fixed cost to average fixed cost, total variable cost to average variable cost. And that one other point I am having in the total cost, total fixed cost, total variable cost, marginal cost. Marginal cost things, no, before also we have seen one, right? So marginal cost is nothing but what? Total cost n minus total cost n minus 1. That formula already have seen. Now this total cost, no, at the place I can write the total variable cost also. N minus total variable cost n minus 1. Why you know that? Because of total fixed cost plus total variable cost, it is equal to total cost. And total fixed cost is always same. If total fixed cost is 60, that will be 60 every time. total variable cost changes, due to total variable cost changes, total cost also changes, same proportion. So that's why marginal cost, either I can subtract total variable cost n minus n minus 1 or total cost. Okay, anything we can go. Say example, that is 10 total variable cost. So total cost is how much? 70, and here is 20. What is that? 80. Now could you find out that total variable cost, if I'm changing here, how much? 20 minus 10, 10. Here also 80 minus 70, 10. You can go either. Okay. So that is the topic we have finished. Revenue concepts we are going to see next class. Thank you.